Welcome back guys to a brand new tutorial. In today's video we're going to add final changes to our blog application using Django and Python. Alright, in the previous video we've created these user profiles and also this following and unfollowing functionality. But now in this video I just want to add some final changes to our blog post right here. For example, as we can see, we only have two items right here in the navbar. But I also want to add that create blog post. The only way we can create the blog post is by typing it in the URL right here. But yeah, this is not really user friendly. So we want to create a navbar right here that will just display create new blog post. Also the nav element to redirect user to the profile. And also a couple of more changes, for example, add right here a link to this admin's profile and stuff like that. So that's what we're going to do in this video. Alright, so now let's add those nav elements I talked about. So the first thing we need to do is go to our base.html right here, and just under our if user.is authenticated, so we only want to show the create blog post nav element and also the user profile if the user is actually authenticated, since they neither can see their profile if they are not logged in, and also they neither can actually create new blog post if they are not logged in. So right here inside of this if statement, just copy this whole li tag right here and just change the values really. So right here let's add, or let's make it the first one, create blog, just like that. And it will be not this URL, it will be our blog right here, this blog underscore create URL right here. So let's just paste that right there, and we can refresh this right now and see if it works. And yeah, it does. So we can check right here and see that we actually can create a new blog post via using this nav element. Alright, so now let's add that nav link to actual profile of the user. So let's type right here profile. Alright, and right here it will be this profile underscore detail URL. And also how to get the actual profile of the currently logged in user is just by typing right here request.user.username, and this is how we're going to get the username of the currently logged in user to actually display the correct profile. So let's actually refresh this page, and now if we click profile right here, we can actually see that we're currently logged in as admin, and that's why we're seeing this admin profile right here. Also, I will add two more things. So right here in our home page and also in this individual blog post details, we can see that this post is created by admin, but the user can't actually see all of the admin's posts. The only way they can do that is by typing it in the URL, going inside of the admin's profile and then seeing them. But I want to add a automatic redirect to the admin's profile once they click it right here. So yeah, I'm just going to add a link to that, and also I'm going to create a separate categories page where all of the categories of the blog post will be displayed, and the users can actually click on this sport category and see all of the sport related blog posts. Alright, so to add that redirection to the actual user that created the blog post, just before this blog underscore post dot user, just add a new a tag right here, and I'm just going to move this here, and we need a href to the URL, or sorry, it is a function right here, so we need to use the curly brackets and percentage signs, and just type right here URL and then off, and again we need to find it, what is it called. So we want to add to our profile details right here, and then instead of the request.user.username, since we don't want to actually go to our own profile, we want to go to the actual blog post user's profile. So let's just add that right here. So copy this and then paste it right there. So now if we save this, we can go to our home page right here and see that this is highlighted actually. So let's go to this Joker's profile and see that it actually works. Now we can also follow him, unfollow him, go back, go to admin and see that it works. So now let's also add that to our blog post details right here and then add that same URL right here. We can save this. Now if we go to details of the blog post, we can actually also see that we can go to the different pages. Alright, and now for the final thing, let's also add that categories, a list of all the categories I actually talked about. So let's add a new function right here, category or categories underscore list, let's call it like that. And then inside of the brackets we need a request, and inside of right here we just want to display all of the categories that are on in our database actually. So let's just type right here, categories is going to be equal to our category database model, and we're going to loop through all of our objects and display the return render. We need request right here. We also need where it will be stored. It will just be, let's call it also categories underscore list. And also for the context, let's add categories to be equal to our categories variable, just like that. And also we need to add .html extension right here. Alright, so save that, and now we need to create a new template, so let's also call it categories underscore list .html, and inside of right here let's just copy this block body and also extend so we can get our navbar from our base.html. We also need to close this. Alright, and inside of right here let's add a unordered list. Let's add a for loop right here. Since this is a function, we need to use the curly bracket and percentage signs, and for every category in our categories variable right here, we can see it, we want to actually end this for loop right away so we don't get an error. And for every category we just want to display double curly brackets and then category dot name, or how I called it. So let's go to our models and find my categories variable. Alright, so yeah, I called it name. So just display the name of that category, and let's put it in the li tag also, just like that. Alright, so save that file. Now we also need to add a URL right here, so let's just paste the last one right there. Let's call it categories list. We need to paste this also there. And now if we check our navbar right here, categories underscore list. Oh, I actually forgot to add a slash right here. You should always do that. It is a good practice. And yeah, we can actually see all of our categories from our database are displayed right here. Now I know it's not styled, but it's up to you to style. So yeah, we have it right here. So now we can add individual pages to these categories. So for example, if I click on sport right here, it will display all of the blog posts that have this sport as the category on them. So now let's create a new view first. So let's add a new function. Let's call it category underscore posts, and inside of the brackets we need a request right here, and also we need a category underscore ID. And first I'm going to get the category, so category dot objects dot get, and using the ID from our models, I'm just going to get the ID that is displayed in the URL right there. And also let's add post right here. So it will be our blog post model right here, objects.filter, and then filter for our category to be equal to our category variable right here. So let me just check in our models if I called it like that. Yeah, I call this field right here category. So we are actually filtering to check if the blog post has that same category as the one displayed in the URL right there. We can actually display it to the user. So now let's just return our render. So return render, and I'm just actually going to copy this since it will be almost the same code. Let's call it category posts, just like that, and just pass our two variables right here. So alright, so now let's create that same HTML file right here. So save it. Also add the same extension and also blocks. I actually need to change this to be categories list. This will be category post. And right here what I'm going to display is just like I did in my user profile. I need to find it. Okay, so this right here just the names of the blog posts that have that same category as the one in the URL. So let me just fix if there is any errors. They're not, so I think we're good. We can save this right now, and let's actually add a URL to this. So I call it category. Let's just actually copy this and paste it. So category posts, also right here. And yeah, now we can actually check, or also we need to add that int right here of the category, so we can actually get the ID of the category that we are clicking on. So now if we save this, and let's actually automatically add it right here. So inside of this li tag, let's add a href tag, just like this, and let's add a URL. So right here, URL to our what we called it, categories underscore post. Alright, and we also need to add the category dot ID, just like that. And now if we save this and check right here, we can actually see that it works. So yeah, we can check every single category right here and see that there is a blog post attached to it. And for the final thing, let's also add that categories to our Navbar right here, and we don't actually need to be logged in to actually see all of the blog posts. So let's just add it right here, categories, just like that, and we need to go to our URLs, display this categories list, just like this. And yeah, I think we're good. We can save this now. If we refresh this page, we can see there is a categories nav element right here. Oh, one last thing, I forgot to add it, the link right here. So this is the last thing. We're finishing this blog post after this. Let's add it first in our homepage. So let's copy the same URL we used for our blog post user. Let's paste it right here. Just change the, just move this right here and change these two stuff. So let's add categories posts, just like this, and it will not be blog post user, it will be blog post category. I think we need to add the ID also. If I'm not mistaken, let's actually check it right now. Yeah, we actually do need. So yeah, we got everything right there. And let's also add it inside of our blog post details. So, and I think we're finished right here, guys. Let's refresh this, and we actually are. If you like this video, make sure to check out the pinned comment of this video. I made a free PDF guide on how to help you pass the beginner stage and escape the tutorial hell. And also, I have got another great video right here on screen. Make sure to check it out, and I'll see you in that one.